Hey guys, it's Saturday, 21st of August. It's a rainy, humid day here in Northwest Florida. So humid you could cut it with a machete. Of course, our state bird is out in force. The state bird being the mosquito. It's been almost a week now since we watched the debacle in Afghanistan. Monday, I was enraged. Tuesday, did a little better, but not much. I still can't look at any of my Navy Pride stuff, Navy Pride t-shirts or ball caps, that stuff. Monday, I was ready to rip that shit apart and burn it. I'm not going to, because that would make me feel worse in the end. But I took it all and stuffed it in a bag down in the bottom of the drawer in the room I'm staying here with family while I wait for the townhouse I'm buying in Pensacola to get finished. I still can't look at it. I do, and there's just a conflicting, bubbling, seething cauldron of anger and then bitterness and then futility and rage and betrayal and then anger and bitterness, and it's just a seething mass. I talked last time about reaching out to each other, and somebody on the comments on one of my platforms made a remark that these resources aren't going to help make any of this have meaning. It's not supposed to. I can't give you the words to, I can't tell you how to let it have meaning. I don't know how to give it meaning for myself right now. I just know I feel betrayed and bitter. In a way, I feel severed from my country, because we, the people, have hired leadership repeatedly that kept telling us everything was rosy and everything was great and that they had plans. And of course, we find out none of that was true. So I can't give it meaning. I'm not trying to. I'm not a counselor. I'm just a veteran like you. I'm a professional writer now, but, well, I was back in active duty, but still I am, but as a civilian. I'm not trying to give it meaning. I can't give it meaning for myself right now. So I can't do anything but tell you that if you're enraged, if you're angry, you're betrayed, you've got a right to those feelings. I feel them right with you. Maybe as much, maybe more, maybe less than you do, but it's not about meaning. This is about all of us helping each other move forward and try and heal. That's what this is about. Wednesday night, a guy named Tony reached out to me. Tony and I were in VF 213 many years ago. He was an officer. I was an enlisted maintainer. So obviously we're never friends, but he was one of those officers. He was one of our air crew that when he did come and talk to the enlisted force, he was one of those officers that always approached us, not just with respect. They all did. I got to give credit. But he approached us as though we were colleagues of his. And you always remember that. I did remember. He's one of the few that did that always, and I always remembered him for it. Well, he reached out to me, and he's civilian now himself. He's worried about me, and he doesn't share my feelings of betrayal, of meaninglessness, and he wasn't writing to tell me to buck it up. He was telling why he feels differently, and that he was there if I wanted to talk. And I took him up on it. I wrote him back 9 pages. He was trying to help, but Tony ended up doing more than he expected, more than I thought he was going to, because I never took the term Afghanistan, Iraq, or Iraq veteran, because I was never on the ground. All my time in that part of the world was on board ship. But as Tony did point out, that even though I was on board ship and not boots on the ground, I still suffered. I mean, I've got physical injuries, and I got a lot of psychological injuries that have affected the rest of my life. Many of us can no longer go hang out in the street and watch the gang shoot off fireworks on 4th of July. I don't like going to movie theaters anymore. I don't like being confined in the dark like that unless I really want to see the movie, and I don't like loud noise surrounding me or potentially triggeringly violent imagery in my face, because that big screen's right there. Now, comic book movies like the MCU, I can do those, but I will never go see a war movie again. But that interaction with Tony made me realize there's a difference between saying I'm an Iraq and Afghanistan veteran, because I'm a veteran of those operations, and combat veteran. I am not a combat veteran. I never got directly shot at. A few times we thought we had missiles inbound. Those were scary, and they left a mark, but they were false alarms. So I finally kind of took those, not titles, but those descriptions of my professional history. But the other thing that he did, by getting me talking, I could see the wall finally. like Monday night, Tuesday, I mean, somewhere in there as the emotions were turning for me, it's like this big brick wall just bam, slammed down into me and severed about half of my heart. That's what it feels like. I look at this wall and I know it's feet thick, multiple feet thick, and I just keep having the words, I can't come to mind. I'm looking at it, I just can't. I can't climb it, I can't go around it, under it, I can't breach it. And I just can't feel what's on the other side of it. And the reason I can't is because it's too much right now. That's why that wall slammed down. That wall is me trying to protect myself. I don't know if and when I'm ever going to get on the other side of that wall. I sure as hell don't want to, I admit, because it's a lot of pain. But the fact that I can see it for what it is, the fact that I can, metaphorically speaking, touch that wall. Tony did me a lot of good by being the person that let me start talking. That's what this is about. I feel severed from my country in a lot of ways because I feel like everything that I did was for nothing. And again, I wasn't boots on the ground. I cannot imagine how much many of y'all might be feeling, those of you who did put boots on the ground. I am enraged every time I hear people on the TV talk about how the Afghans wouldn't fight for themselves. Well, maybe they wouldn't, but they were trying to fight with close air support that we provided and we yanked. We didn't even tell them when we left Bagram. They showed up to work and not there. It's like, how much did we pull the rug out from under them and set them up for failure? I don't know. I just know that a lot of ways we did, which again, to me, renders everything that all of us went through meaningless. I'm not saying it is. I'm saying it feels like it. But by Tony reaching out to me, one veteran to another, it let me see that wall finally. I say finally, in a few days, but let me see that wall for what it is, realize what it is and why it is. And that's the first step for me moving forward. It's not about finding meaning and making it make sense for any of us. This is about us helping each other heal. So again, I just encourage you, reach out. Don't be ashamed if you have a wall that's come down, if you've got a, I just can't sensation in yourself. Give yourself permission to feel those things or realize that it's going to take you a while to feel those things. It's going to take time. Injuries take time to heal. Anybody who's broken a bone knows that. And of course, those of us who've also taken psychological and emotional trauma know it takes time to heal. And let's be honest, some injuries never quite heal. That's why scars exist on our bodies and scars exist in our hearts. But we can move forward. We just have to do it together. That's how we got through all this shit when we were active duty. We did it together for the most part. We can do it together again. I found a few more resources besides just the Veterans Crisis Line and Military OneSource. I put them down in the description here. Of course, they're also in the description of my written blog, sparks1524.com. Yeah, I'm not a counselor. I'm just a professional civilian writer and a veteran myself. But if you want to reach out to me, you can do it through the comments here on my written blog or on Instagram or Facebook when I put the announcements about these posts. I can't give any of it meaning. I can't even do that for myself. All I can do, though, is just tell you like I tell myself. I've got a right to feel this way. You've got a right to feel the way you do. Those feelings are real. Ultimately, we have to heal ourselves. But just because we have what we need within us to heal ourselves doesn't mean we know how to use it or access it. I had a tool pouch on my hip when I was an F-14 fighter maintainer. But just because I had access to those tools immediately didn't mean I knew how to use them on the airplane until somebody taught me. That's what being here for each other does. It helps each of us learn how to access those things within ourselves, much less use them. But again, we have to do that together. Don't know how many more of these there'll be, but as I go through this, I'll keep up these videos, these columns, because there's a lot going on. I feel like 20 years of my life was wasted. I really do. Probably wasn't, but that's how I feel right now, and the feelings are trumping the logic. All right, well, I'm going to start repeating myself. So, see y'all on the flip side. Again, be there for each other, reach out, and don't try to come with any answers. You don't have any answers. I don't have any answers. I'm looking for them for myself. I cannot find them for anybody else. And I don't need to. You don't need to find them for anybody else. You're just looking for the answers for yourself. but give yourself permission to let it take some time. So, talk to y'all soon.